Hi, babe. Welcome to the Horror Babe Show. I'm your host, Chelsea Beller. On today's virtual Filmmaker Friday episode, we have Jen Winterbotham, writer and director of the spooky and freaky horror short film Hand, starring Sharlene Cruz. Jen and I have a great chat about the true events that inspired Hand, body horror, of course, that revolting hand, and more. Let's tune into my conversation with Jen. Hi, Jen. Do you go by Jennifer or Jen?
Jen.
Jen. I like Jen.
Unless you're angry with me, then you could do Jennifer.
Jennifer. Jen Winterbotham, thank you so much for being on the Horror Babe Show, post FilmQuest.
Well, thank you for having me. This is very exciting. I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah. Okay, so just a little bit of what I know about you. You're the writer and director of Hand. Hand is a short film that explores heartbreak and grief through body horror, which I love. Your feature Birthright was tapped for both 2025 Sundance Producers Lab Fellowship, amazing, and 2025 Film Independent Imaginar Producers Residency. What are those? Tell me what those are.
So no, it's great. So the producing lab, so that's with Sundance. So my producing partner Daniel Tantaleon. So we
Yes.
did Hand together.
Yeah.
He's like my best friend from college. So we've been
Aw.
collaborating. Yeah.
Yeah.
For like 17 years now.
Oh my God. I love that.
Yeah, no, he's like a big cheerleader for me. But yeah, so he got into the Sundance Producing Lab with Birthright. And so basically that's like a year-long program where he works with people in the lab. So he has a cohort. They have advisors and mentors where they kind of work to develop the feature.
Yeah.
And so for my involvement, I'm kind of like the person that sort of like comes in to like receive the feedback on the script and say like, okay, now I'm gonna go do another draft and implement that. While
Oh
while
my
Dan's
God.
kind of like working on, developing like, a production plan and distribution plan and things like that.
Yeah.
And so the film independent residency is similar as well.
Okay.
It's another year long program where it's about developing a slate of films. So he has three different films. I'm only
Ooh.
one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah. So that's what those are about. And so
Cool.
far it's been really really helpful. Um,
Yeah.
because when you spend a lot of time on a feature script and you're the only one kind of looking at it,
Yeah.
it's really easy to kind of like miss some things that are going to make the story better. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah.
That's so cool. I love that so much. I have also written a feature before, but in doing that, then I had a table read, I guess, is
Oh yeah.
did like something like
Yeah.
that where I had like 20 people come over and we like read it out loud, and then I received all their feedback, and it was so interesting because it was like, oh yeah, you need to mention that like pivotal detail because otherwise nothing makes sense. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, but I knew. But it was in my head. So yeah, that feedback is so important to the process. I totally get that.
Yeah, I feel like writing a feature. This is only the second feature I've written, and the other one is sort of like in a graveyard somewhere.
Sure, this was your first or second feature?
Yeah, this is the second one
Yeah.
I wrote. And the first one I sort of did just as an exercise to prove to
Yeah.
myself that I could get to
Right.
the 90-page mark. 'Cause yeah.
Um, why don't you tell me about a little bit about yourself as a filmmaker and your journey and like how you got to this point with Hand?
Yeah, no, gladly. Okay, yeah. So I'm from Arizona, born and raised. I went to film school there, so at Arizona State.
Nice.
At the time, yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But at the time, the film school was very new.
Mm.
So we had like 50 or so students. Um, yeah, and the resources were like pretty limited. Like we had a couple cameras, but there was only like two HD cameras, so everyone was sort of like,
Oh
haggling
man.
over like, yeah,
Ah,
when one person could use it versus, someone else.
yeah.
Um, but the thing that was really cool about that time and having like the new film school is we kind of all just had to collaborate together because it was so small, it became very like tight knit.
Yeah.
Um, but also just kind of having to navigate like how do you make something with like very little resources? Or
Yes.
like when the light kit you want is checked out because there's only two of them, like how, you know what I mean? Like what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really great. I ended up directing a few of my own shorts there. I ended
Yay.
up writing a lot for friends and producing and first ADing.
Nice.
So, yeah, so when I graduated, I moved to New York. I applied and got into the DGA training program, which is sort of like a fast track for assistant directors.
Nice.
Um,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, so I did that for a couple years. I became an AD, so I've been an AD now for 10 years. So
Wow.
I
That's
know, yeah.
amazing.
I started in like 2015. But yeah, now I think around 2020, I kind of was like, all right, I've done that. I'm not feeling very fulfilled creatively because when you AD, it's like everything you do is logistics and you're working
Right.
like so many hours, 5 days a
Yeah.
week, and you're kind of just spent. And so when 2020 happened and there was no work because everybody kind of shut down,
Yeah.
um, I sort of was like, all right, I think I need to just commit to directing. Like, what am I doing? Like, I've always wanted to do
Right.
it, and I don't know why
Yeah.
I'm not trying. Um, and luckily, my biggest collaborator is my husband.
Hmm.
We met in film school. So yeah,
How
so another
cool. I love that.
17 years with him. So, we're trapped in our apartment and it's like, okay, we're gonna just shoot a music video, like, because
Yeah.
we're here and we can.
Yeah.
Um, and so I learned like 2D animation and After Effects. He's a great DP, so he DPs like all of my work. And is a very good editor, which he doesn't want to
Hmm.
do, but sometimes has to do. Uh,
Sounds like my
and
boyfriend.
yeah, I, I know it's great. But then yeah, we just started kind of like trying to collaborate creatively together.
Yeah.
We have a production company called Circulatory Cinema. So,
Cool.
we've yeah, what have we done? Like so a few music videos. We went to Sicily, shot a pilot, like a food travel pilot.
Wow.
Um yeah, like a campaign for Intel. So we've done some stuff together. But Hand was like my first narrative thing that I
Mm.
got to do since
Yeah.
college. So it was like a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah. A huge deal.
Yeah. And I will
Mm.
say it is a very like personal story. It is based off of like a breakup that I went through in school.
Mm.
Like second year of college, maybe or no, I don't know, first or second year. It was pretty early.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I was just like I had moved back to my house because I spent like the first, year in the dorms, moved back to my house. My mom was like going through some stuff. And my boyfriend at the time like cheated on me and it like essentially like ended our relationship. And it was not a good relationship.
Clearly.
And I knew that. It was just like,
Yeah.
I think it just sort of was like, it felt like a pile on with everything that was happening in my life.
Yeah.
And he had been kind of like pseudo living at our house. And
Ugh.
when we broke up, I just remember being like
Ugh.
super upset and like torn up about it.
Of
And like being in my,
course.
yeah, and like being in my bedroom and being like, he fucking spilled wax on the carpet? Like, what? What?
What?
You just like things I didn't really notice. Like I was like, wait, there's all these stains in here. And like why was I
Oh
like
my God.
totally just like, yeah, whatever, do whatever you want. So it's funny now, obviously. It's like we're so far
Yeah.
removed from it. But when I was like, really brooding and sad about it, I wrote a short story that
Oh,
was essentially what became Hand the script. Um,
yeah.
it was not I don't think it was a great short story, but I was like, I think this would be fun visually, like if we
Totally.
made it into a movie.
Yes.
And that's what we did.
I'm in awe. I love that. I love 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 when people take things that actually happened in their life or anxieties or insecurities that they have and like put it into a creative project because it makes it so personal. And I think in that way it makes it so much more relatable, you know?
Mm, yeah, yeah, for
Um
sure.
Yes, like I went through a toxic relationship and I was like, oh my God, like this is a great metaphor for a toxic relationship because it's like she got a splinter. Like that's not hard to get out. It's just like, just take
Yeah.
the splinter out. And it reminds me of like when you're like complaining to your friends about your boyfriend, he's awful, he does this,
Yeah.
he does that, and they're like, just break up with him, and you're like, I can't because blah blah blah. And it's just that thing of like, well, just take the splinter out. I can't. And I think it's like, I mean, at least for me it was like the pain of taking out the splinter was like so overwhelming for her that she was like, I'm just gonna deal with it, and it's like,
Yeah.
no, but then you wouldn't have a splinter anymore.
Yeah.
And your hand would be fine.
Yeah, you wouldn't be like isolated in your apartment and
Yes, exactly. I loved the imagery in this piece being body horror. Like, you have to have pretty significant imagery. The hand itself was fantastic, and I want to know who created that. Like, who is responsible for the hand?
okay, yeah. No, so in Arizona, so we shot this in Arizona. So I
Cool.
live in New York now. But because this all kind of happened in Arizona, I was like, I feel like I want to be there. And I wanted to film like the desert in a way that just really like,
Yeah.
paid homage to like the beauty of Arizona, which
Yeah.
I totally did not appreciate when I was in school. I was like, get me out of here.
Totally.
Um, so yeah, so we went back to Arizona and I was like, we got to find a local, special effects artist because it's like we're already flying the cast out from New York and ourselves out from
Right.
New York. And it was like, oh,
Oof.
this is
Yeah.
getting really expensive.
Uh,
Um, and so yeah, one of our producers, Hannah, she's still in Arizona and is very connected to the film community there.
gotcha.
And she had this guy, Rob, that she had worked with on another short. Um, and she was like, he was really good. And she sent me his info. And it was funny because our first conversation, really like friendly guy, had a shop in his house, like at,
Nice.
I
Wow.
don't know, Black Canyon somewhere.
Yeah.
Um, but I guess, in addition to doing horror movies, he made these like realistic prosthetic arms for like surgery videos. So I was like, all right, well,
Oh.
you're already in the hand business, so this should work out nicely. Um, so yeah, so we met there, and because the actress was here, we had a friend do the life cast and just mail it to him, and then he made two prosthetics for us. So the first big stage of swelling, and then like the giant hand,
Right. Yeah.
which were sort of like applied like a glove, and then he also made like some pieces to go like on the top of the hand for the splinter in the beginning.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was so cool. And like the way she like kind of hobbles with it. Like she's
Oh
like
my
dragging it around
gosh.
because it's so heavy. I was like, oh my God.
I know Charlene from my work as like an AD. Um, so I worked with her on a TV show called Flatbush Misdemeanors. And it was one of like her first like regular characters on a TV show. And then on a feature film called In the Summers, which I co-produced and ended up winning the Grand Jury Prize at Sundance in 2024.
Oh
Um,
gosh,
so that was
congrats.
like another big moment in her
Yeah.
life or her career. And so I think she agreed to do this with me, which is like a big moment in my career. So I was like, okay, like we're like bonding and forming this relationship. But
Yeah.
um so the thing with Charlene though, she's an incredible actress. Like she has this insane range, but is very often cast as like a love interest, like being like a
Mm,
cute, like very sweet, love interest. And she's like, I'm
yeah.
tired of that. Like, I want to do like some Nicolas Cage shit. And I was like, all right,
Yes.
yeah, let's do it. And just some of the like, because she's also like a stage actress, like, so she,
Ooh.
knows a
Mhm.
lot, like how to move the body and the stuff she was coming up with. It was killing us on set. Like, I was, you're trying to keep a straight face and like
Yeah.
stay in the emotionality of the scene, but you're like, she looks like a gremlin. What is she?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was incredible. She brought so much to the table. It was really awesome.
She was fantastic. What was her name? Charlene?
Sharlene Cruz.
Charlene Cruz. Phenomenal. Um,
Yeah.
when she does that, like I call it the feminine rage scream at him, and then he just like disappears. I was like, oh my God, I want to do
Yeah. Right.
that.
Those two and the rehearsal of that scene, like we kind of reconceptualized how we were going to shoot it just because of how good they were when they rehearsed it. And it was like, oh yeah, this is a much better way. Like we had all these VFX planned. We're like, and then Justin's gonna like float and then whatever. Like just all this stuff. Like we're gonna shoot in a green screen. And then when we rehearsed it, it's like, oh my God, we don't need that. Like it's like the
Yeah.
emotion is so strong that you're like, no, we're gonna let that go.
Yes. No, absolutely. It was so great. It was like just a perfect, like, climactic event.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, well, going back to the Splinter, how did you come up with like the Splinter concept, I guess?
Yeah, so that's another thing that actually happened to me.
Did it really?
Yeah,
Your
but
hands
it
swelled up.
was a different, yeah, it was like a different time and in my life. So it was before the relationship that the short sort of is based off of. But
Mm-hmm.
I was just in the desert like with some friends, like drinking some beers and got a splinter just walking, like hit a bush, got a
Yeah.
splinter in my hand. And I just like I couldn't get it out. And my mom was like, I'm pretty sure it just like will push itself out. I think it's fine. I was like, okay. And I left it. And after a couple of days, like the top of my hand like swelled up.
Oh
And
no.
I worked at a burger place. So I remember going to work and I like went to my manager and I'm like, do you think this is okay? And he was like, no, you need to go see a doctor. Like you need to go home right now. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Get out
oh.
of here.
And so I think that's a real thing that happened. But I think bringing it back to this relationship, I when I was kind of going through, that really like dark period of just like you don't want to do anything, you don't want to get out of bed. I was writing a lot, and there was something about the idea of like I don't want to remove you. I don't want another stain on my carpet. Like it was just like you've already done like all this like damage and it's like I
Yeah.
there was like part of me that's like is this me getting you like out of my life? Like is it going to just cause more damage and darkness for
Right.
me? Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's kind of where it was born out of. And I think, getting through the script and getting the set and everything, um, that idea sort of transformed into like just being a metaphor for the relationship itself.
Yeah.
Um, and just kind of her having to decide that she's done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the whole short. I mean, there was also like, I don't know if this was intentional, but there was like Evil Dead like surrealism in there too that I was like, I love this. This is so
Yeah.
great because I'm a huge Evil Dead fan. And like that's also like body horror meets comedy. And so the
Yeah.
two definitely share like a through line. What was that one of your like inspirations or like what were your horror movie
You know
inspirations
what?
for this?
Maybe maybe subconsciously because I do love that movie.
Yes.
But I think at least at the forefront of my mind when we were kind of putting this together was Cronenberg's The Fly, and then
Mm-hmm.
the film Raw was like another one that was
Oh
kind of
yeah,
like,
I still need to watch that one.
oh yeah, it's great. It's great.
Yeah,
Just that
yeah, I've
like
heard good
that
things.
angsty, yeah, angsty like being in college and some of just like the visceral way like things are shot. Like there's like this scene with this like chicken breast that is maybe the grossest thing I've ever seen. Like it's just, taking these like benign things and making them gross.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that, that's what we really wanted to do with like the stains and like the macro photography. Like we had a scope lens, so we were like getting into like pushing it
In
into
the
the
fibers, yeah.
carpet.
It was
Yeah.
great. Are you a horror fan, a horror babe, if
If
you
you
will?
will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is the horror film that like got you on that path?
You know what? I have to say the original Alien. Yeah. I would say, okay, so the first horror movie that really, really spoke to me was Poltergeist. So like when I was a kid, rented that, I was like,
Yeah.
Poltergeist, I'm all about it, loved it. Um, but then, I think Don't Kill Me, I don't know if, but I think after that we went to like Halloween and I was like, oh, I'm not into this the way I'm into Poltergeist. So like maybe I'm not a horror
Interesting.
babe. I don't know. But then as you get older, you start seeing a little bit of everything. And then yeah, Alien's the one
Yeah.
that really I was like, all right, I'm in. I'm all in. I'll watch
Yes.
anything.
Yes. So my last question for you, Jen.
Yeah.
Thank you for being such a wonderful guest, by the way.
Oh, thank you
Um,
for having me.
yes, of course. What is Hand for you? Is it a proof of concept for a feature? Is it like a stepping stone to maybe some other project?
Yeah, so Hand for me, what is a chance for me to do something narrative again. So I knew that, preparing for Birthright, I needed to do another short just because my last short was 2009. I shot it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, completed like took forever to finish, so maybe it was like 2011 by the time it was done. But so now when we're like applying to like grants or programs and they're like, okay, send us some narrative work, it's like, all right, what about narrative work from 2009? And it's like, we don't really want that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like, all right, I need to get back in that headspace and back in that creative mindset because, before that we had been shooting stuff, but it's a lot of music videos and it's like quite different when you like
Right.
write your own dialogue and
Totally. Yes.
yeah, like the direction of like emotionality and scenes and all of that. So I was working on Birthright, which is it's a pretty dark script. Like, it follows a pregnant Métis woman in like the 1960s, and it's really about like indigenous erasure wrapped into like a supernatural survivalist
Wow.
story. Yeah.
Yeah.
So while I kind of like love the story or like where it's
Yeah.
going, it's really dark. And I was kind of finding myself in a place where it's like, hey, I'm glad I'm writing this and I'm working on this and I, with my whole heart want to make it. But I also need some experience doing something narrative. And I have this like very personal thing that I think could maybe be a little bit fun, like gross and like funny and
Yeah.
but still like have the grief factor kind of wrapped into it. So it's like, I don't know, it
Yeah.
feels like a nice reprieve from what I'm doing, but still represents me as a filmmaker.
Love.
So yeah, it was sort of just like it was like that. Like if somebody came
Yeah.
up to me and was like, "Listen, I'll give you $2 million to make Hand the Feature," I would make Hand the Feature. But
Sure. Yes.
but yeah, for now it's just, it's a standalone project that allowed us to
Yeah.
get our film family back together.
Yeah.
A
Oh,
lot of ASU people on this movie, like from past and
nice.
present, um,
Yeah.
which was cool. And yeah, got to got to go home for a little shoot.
That's so great. When did you film this? Did you film this last year?
Yeah, so we shot this the end of October in 2024.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
was still 95 degrees out in Arizona.
Oh.
We were like, oh, we're gonna wait. It's not gonna be that hot. Well, it was,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
okay. So we did a 5-day shoot end of October and then came back to New York and immediately went on to another job. And so it took a bit to finish it in post, but we
Yeah.
finished end of August this year. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And you
So
said
under a year.
under a year. I mean, that's a huge feat, honestly. Congrats on that
Thank,
alone.
thank you.
Did you say your husband edited it?
No, so my husband DP'd the film, and I had a
Gotcha.
really awesome editor. His name's Adam
Cool.
Dictoro, and he also did In the Summer, so we kind of knew each other
Oh,
from that. Um,
yeah.
and he was great. Like he did some really impressive stuff with the footage, like
Yeah.
the multiple Justin scene.
That was really
That is,
cool.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and that one, I was like, I hope we gave him all the pieces for him to be able to put that together.
Yeah.
But essentially, that scene is the way it was in the assembly. Like, we didn't really change
Oh,
anything in that scene. Yeah.
yeah. That's so great.
Um, so yeah, so he was awesome in helping us put together. And then one of my other big collaborators is my brother. So
Oh,
he's a sound designer.
cool.
So he really came in with like those horror stings and came up with like the idea of like a female vocal,
Ooh, yeah.
motif. And yeah, like we couldn't ask for a better team. Yeah, it was a really,
Oh
really
my
awesome group of
God.
collaborators. Yeah.
Yes, all with people you already know. That's
Yeah.
love.
Just
Just love.
if you
Yeah.
can, that's the way to do it, I think.
I believe
believe
so.
so.
Yeah, I mean, I did 2 short films this year, and my boyfriend was my
My
Congrats.
DP. One of my best friends, what is the editor? Her fiance was the director. So we just have
Nice.
this, close little unit. So
I
Uh,
wholeheartedly agree, obviously.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they horror shorts?
They are, yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Exciting.
exciting.
I know.
Nice.
But they're in editing mode now, and I'm like,
I just want to see it.
Yeah.
This has been so wonderful. Thank you so much for chatting with me.
Thank you.
Well, that's it from me and Jen. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this week's Filmmaker Friday episode. Hope you enjoyed this week's interview. This is the last interview for the foreseeable future. So if horror movie reviews and rating those kills is more your bag, stay tuned. Please don't forget to like, comment, follow, and subscribe. Bye, babe.